Hi, welcome to another dose of virtual vitamin Z. My name is Steven, and I'm the curator of Humane Education for the Detroit Zoological Society. Today, I'm going to be sharing the Humane Action of the Week with you. And this is an action that you can take that will give you a chance to help animals in the environment while also practicing and developing your humane attitudes, knowledge, and skills. In this week, the Humane Action is that we're going to be participating in trail camera-based citizen science projects. And by doing this, again, we're going to be helping animals in the environment, but we're also going to be increasing our reverence for animals and our knowledge about animals, and also developing our observation skills and our empathy. The only supply we'll need is a computer with internet connection. And some terms that we're going to be learning together include trail camera, conservation, citizen science, and wildlife survey. So let's get started with that first term, trail camera. Here's an example of a trail camera. And a trail camera is a tool that people can use to observe animals without actually being there to observe them in person. So they're also called remote cameras because they let us observe animals remotely. And the way that this works is that a trail camera has up here a motion sensor. And every time an animal moves past this camera, that motion sensor will activate the camera to take a picture. And these here are no-glow flashes, which means that we can take pictures during the day as well as at night without disturbing animals. If you have been going on the DZS's Facebook page, you may have noticed that we've been posting some trail camera pictures. We have a couple of trail cameras at the Belle Isle Nature Center, and we've been posting some pictures from them. And I want to share some other pictures from them that didn't quite make the cut to go on Facebook, but that I think are pretty cool nonetheless. So here's one of those pictures. If you know the species of animal here, feel free to add it in the comments section. So we got this picture. Clearly we can see this animal was walking along, maybe looking for food, and you can tell that the animal didn't notice the camera, wasn't disturbed by the camera. But then later on, he must have found our other trail camera because he decided to take a portrait with it. And then turns out that one portrait wasn't good enough, and so he decided to take another portrait with it. Maybe he was trying to take a Facebook profile picture or a senior portrait. But even two weren't enough, because then he decided to take a third, doing the kind of leaning against the wall pose. And I want to emphasize here that trail cameras can take multiple pictures at the same time, like 3 pictures, right, one after the other. But these pictures, if you look back at the timestamps, were actually separated by hours and even days. So this guy clearly spent a lot of time posing for pictures. And this is a groundhog or a woodchuck, if you were wondering what species this is. So you might be looking at these pictures and wondering if all we do with our trail cameras at the DZS is take pictures of groundhogs. And the good news is no, we use them for a lot of other things too. And in particular, we use them for conservation. And conservation is, the DZS's statement of purpose is celebrating and saving wildlife. And we do this through our 4 mission pillars of humane education, animal welfare, sustainability, and conservation. And conservation refers to saving wildlife species and the environments or ecosystems in which they live by first of all helping protect them, as well as helping those species and ecosystems recover. And the trail camera is a really excellent tool for wildlife conservation for a couple of reasons. One of those reasons is that it allows us to take pictures of animals who we wouldn't see normally because either they're not active when humans are, or because they're shy and afraid of humans and wouldn't go close to us. They also give us the opportunity to be in multiple places at the same time. By putting up a lot of different trail cameras, we can create these networks of trail cameras that we can then collect data from as if we were in all of those places at once. And to give you an example of how this works, I want to share a couple of conservation projects that we've done at the DZS that have used trail cameras. One of those is a project to conserve snow leopards. Now, snow leopards are a species, and this was in China. Snow leopards are an endangered species and a species that's very shy of humans. So it's unlikely that we would see them just by going out into the field and looking for them. But we put up a network of trail cameras and we're able to get images like this. As you can see, this is a close-up image of one of those snow leopards. And we also got images like this. And by gathering and analyzing these images, we were able to learn where the snow leopards were living, and that gave us a better ability to choose places to protect, habitats to protect, that would have the greatest impact. Another project we did focused on brown bear conservation in Armenia. And again, we put up a network of trail cameras, and in this case, we were most interested in understanding brown bear behavior and how that impacted humans and how humans could coexist with brown bears. And so we got images like this one and images like this one. And with this information, we were able to better understand brown bears' behavior and get a more complete picture of how humans and bears can coexist. So one of the things, as I was going through those images, one experience I had was I thought it was just really cool to be able to see these really, exciting animals, bears and leopards, and I guess groundhogs too. And to go to all these different places in the world without leaving my living room. And I was also able to help those animals and, to practice my observation skills and empathy and other things like that. And the good news is I was saying that we're going to be participating in some of these projects. There's a resource out there that will let us participate in dozens and dozens of different trail camera-based citizen science projects without leaving our living rooms. And that project, that's called Zooniverse. And that leads us to our next vocabulary word, which is citizen science project. A citizen science project is a project in which researchers have asked members of the public, like you and me, to help them analyze data and participate in the research process. And when it comes to trail cameras, these networks of trail cameras create lots of different pictures, and that's a lot of data to analyze. And they are asking members of the public like us to help them analyze the data. Zooniverse is a online website, a resource that allows us to participate in projects like this. And to get to the website, we just go to zooniverse.org, and you'll see that there's this landing page here. And up at the top left, we can click on projects, and this will show us all of the different projects we can do. And since we're talking about animals in the environment right now, I'm going to show you how to go to the nature category. And if we scroll down, we can see that there are 62 different projects that we can participate in. And these give us a chance to go to lots of different places and see lots of different really amazing animals. To give you a better understanding of what it looks like to participate in one of these projects, I'm going to search for one of my favorites, which is called Michigan Zoom In. And Michigan Zoom In is a project by the Applied Wildlife Ecology Lab at the University of Michigan. And what it's done is these researchers have put up a network of trail cameras throughout the state of Michigan. You can see there are some in the UP, as well as some in the northern lower peninsula. And the cool thing is there are even some in the city of Detroit. And these cameras are taking pictures, and their goal is to do what's called a wildlife survey. And a wildlife survey is kind of like a survey with people, like a census, except that rather than sending animals postcards and having them fill out information, we use trail cameras to learn where they live, how many of the different species are in different areas. And the other thing we can do is, after learning about the project, we can go to classify. And this will tell us a little bit about the project. And then it'll show us these images. And sometimes there's nothing in the images, so we can say nothing here. But other times, we will in fact see animals in these images. So here, for example, if we zoom in a little bit, we can see that there's a squirrel in this image. And we can click through to see different pictures. And so by going through these images, we can see some cool animals who live in Michigan, including the city of Detroit. And then we can help these researchers, and by helping them, also help animals in the environment. One more cool project I want to point out is the Colorado Corridors project. And the reason I really like this project is that one of the issues that's really important to me is preventing wildlife vehicle collisions. And this project does just that. We can go to the About section and see that in Colorado, there's this highway that goes through an area with a lot of wildlife. And they're trying to build wildlife crossings so that the animals can safely cross the highway. But before they do that, they want to know, where the animals are most populous. And to do this, they're using, again, a wildlife survey with trail cameras. So to participate, we would go to Classify and see some cool images of animals. In this case, an image of a coyote. And so we would classify these images and then help the researchers help animals in that way. So again, we get a chance to see cool animals, go to cool different places, while also helping animals and building our observation skills, empathy, and all that. So those two projects really stand out to me, but there are many other projects that you can participate in. So today I would encourage you, and for the rest of this week, I would encourage you to check out Zooniverse, and in particular, look at their nature projects and see if there's one that stands out to you. Maybe it's a habitat that you're really interested in. Maybe it's an animal species you're really interested in. And so by doing this, I think it gives us a chance to, to develop, entertain ourselves, to see some really cool animals in the environment, as well as to build our humane attitudes, knowledge, and skills, and help animals in the process. So I think it's a win-win-win. The other cool thing about this is that it's accessible to a lot of different people. There's some projects that require maybe a little bit more knowledge about certain animal species, but others that are really open to people of all different knowledge and skill levels. So it's really accessible there. And there's a lot of diversity. So maybe some of us are interested in local wildlife or in North American wildlife, while others are interested in animals in different parts of the world. We can all participate in these citizen science projects and help animals through this resource. So again, I would encourage you to check this out today and later this week. Thanks so much for your time. I would also encourage you to tune in later today at 2, when my colleague Akila will be sharing some information about a really cool animal species who lives in Michigan and some things that we can do to help them. So thanks again for your time. Have a great day and stay safe. Bye.